Welcome to Driven by me, and we are back again. And something is wrong right now. Music is too loud. My viewer count is not there. Don't understand why. All of a sudden, no more viewer. Is the chat bot working? Let's test the chat. Okay, the chat bot is working, which is weird. Oh, we don't see YouTube on the chat box. Yeesh. What's wrong, Streamlab? What are you doing? What's wrong with Streamlab? I don't need Facebook. I don't need X. I need YouTube. Okay. What else? Launch. Are you sure you want to launch the widget? Please make sure this information is private. Do not show this on stream. Protect yourself. I don't see anything. Really weird. Maybe I need to create a new one. Oh. Let's see what written rename really browser. No, the name is already used. It's in use here. Okay. Okay. On browser already in use. Starting. Okay. It now it work. Viewer count already in use. Viewer count 2. There. Let's copy the address. Paste this. Okay. It's not working. What's wrong with you? Streamlab. Oh, well, I think I will live with it anyway. Okay. It's a bit. Don't know what to do now. Stream manager. Back to Twitch. Oh, yeah, yeah, I want my stream. There we go. I guess that it won't work. This won't work neither. Let's save it. Yeah, the many thing from Streamlab stuff, but I will do it. I guess. I guess we have to live with it. Boring. Streamlab. Maybe it's the extension sticker. Remove it. It's bugged since then. Overlay and theme. Restart session. What is this? Oh, it appeared? What is this? Oh, okay, it added it. It's a donation amount. Let's remove. Oh, yeah, my viewer count won't work, and I will have to leave it there. Sadness. Face sniffer over there. Rendezvous. Didn't work. It seems like it feels like it only happens when I watch a streamer. It never, or at least I never saw it happen. So yesterday I messed up when I was going away. I forgot something, uh, and that's why it was so laggy. You need to select object. Since this was not fixed, it exported everything, and that's why it was so slow. Now I did export. I need to import. Let's open the project. Not that. And then also um, um, the video of which was this beautiful face. Yes, everything. Oh, no. Return to the export. Yeah, slap my the topology. Oh yeah, he did this. Yes. Let's do this little hell play. Are you with me? Today at 8 to 9 p.m. It should be the most populated time of the day. This this time, which is Tuesday. Uh, 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 Heading better. Did it work? Maybe I should have import one by one. Oh damn. Wake me up when September. Well, yes, that won't be for today. Yes. Wow. What is this? All the material. I shouldn't have listened to this guy. I should have. I shouldn't have listened to this guy. Damn it. Got us. Real good. I hate when it does that. So you don't need this. You don't need the shader. You don't need the eyelashes. You don't need this. Where are the meshes? There. The head meshes. 001. Where the other? Okay, it's only one by one. Are you kidding? Okay, it's still importing there. It would be a long day. Is importing. There we go. All. Oh damn it! What is Control Shift S? Let's save everything. Update. Delete. Oh, the head appeared. There we go. Shift. I didn't do the modif he did. Remove rig. Are you kidding me? There is no rig. Oh. Yes. Body. Conform. From template. Body. Come on. Click it. Yeah, I guess that's because what I did is I got this. It lost all the information, so I should have kept the initial. So it's based on the vertexes. I could try their mesh conform they use. Mesh transfer data. Just for the to see that way I won't lose time. Let's download mesh data transfer for Blender by Maurizio Memoli. Maurizio Memoli. $0. Where can I download it then? Add tip 0. So for that. Mesh data transfer, utilities, software libraries, Blender. Save. I wonder how bad this is now. How bad this is now. But not that bad. I think it's lost forever. Could be. Uh, um, and this copy back head body. Where's the head? There you go. But I need the thief. Head. That's not the body. Sorry. Copy. Here you see the at least the lander is reliable. Don't need it. Just LO0 is in. LOD0 is in. Leave. We can delete this, then we can select all. You remember they are up there. Scale 0.01. Save. Control A. Alternate. There we go. Now, how do they use their mesh data transfer? I was very close. Okay, it's doing it. Yes, transfer now. Hey, yeah, yeah, yeah. What can I say? Did I pick the right one? I don't know. Yes, it seems to. It's long. Beautiful. Let's close some. Oh, it worked? Does not seem to have worked. Does not seem. That would be a long one. What can I say? While it's running. What do you want me to talk about? What can I say? Can I talk about the perception of the world? Perception of reality. There's a huge gap between what uh, what people perceive the reality and what it is. Not in the sense of gap, not in the sense of what it is, but in the sense of what it can be. Because of a paradox I mentioned many times, we cannot prove that a proof, that an evidence, because in French we say proof, we cannot prove that an evidence was or was not created before we observed it. And this should be simple. This should be this sentence should be simple. It's not as difficult that it seems. It's just that in my experience, when I say that sentence to people, they try to decipher. They try to find a way where it does not work. And of course, if you try without being confronted, you will confirm yourself situation where this does not work, but you don't go at it the right way, because usually at it's like the brain in the vat thought experiment, which was made by a guy, I don't remember his name. He and a lot of philosophers talk about similar idea, where that our memory could be created on the spot, and we cannot, we because of that, any proof that we have can be created, and it creates a paradox where you don't have access, you cannot have access, any conscious being cannot have what is real, absolutely real. It will there will always be this uncertainty of the fact of the evidence that we have, that it was or not wasn't created as we observed it, just before we observed. Even like it's something that usually in science we can quantify anything. If we put time to something, we can quantify it. But this cannot be quantified because it's directly in the phenomenon of quantification, where even if we build tools and study this for thousands of years, at the end of the day, any proof that we would gather, we wouldn't be able to prove was or wasn't created before we observed it. And it's a bit similar when sometimes I heard people saying, arguing that, well, I know that the fact is true because other people have tested, but when you say that, you already say, like, you already jump over the paradox. Like you act as if the paradox didn't exist. It's like trying to escape it. It's impossible, because even though as a civilization have a memory, a gathered memory together for a very long time, even though you're still a human being, you don't have the brain of other human being connected to your brain. And if even if we were just one creature, it would be the same. Even if all our brain would be connected physically, it would be still the same. Even if we were God, observing the universe from all angles, from all particles, from we will still be, it would still be the same. We will still be like, oh, we create the universe, but the memory of us creating the universe, we cannot prove that something else beyond us as God would have created those memory of us creating the universe. Always, uh, any way you look at it, it's always like that. I thought like, what if we were a different species in a different universe with different law, and we cannot conceptualize that. But even though the issue might not be the conceptualization because we can formulate in words anything, it's not like the amount of complexity would end up, or the difference of complexity would end up be bypassing the paradox. The paradox is like an incomprehension of what is, just like Richard Feynman said. Paradox is when you it's when you're feeling you feel something. I don't remember the citation. I will paraphrase or something, but he says like something like a paradox is when you feel that something ought to be a certain way or ought to be that way, but it is. I paraphrase really badly, but what it means is that when we encounter paradoxes, if we look at it different angle and why it exists, we always end up finding that it's because we thought the world it was that a certain way, but it's not and cannot be this. And that's, yeah, that's all the paradoxes you could like classify paradoxes categories like paradoxes like perfection, where you want something perfect but it's impossible because it it goes against other things in life. Like if thing could be perfect, there wouldn't be fight over shield and sword. Like a sword would cut everything, a shield would block everything, and when both of them would encounter, it couldn't go through each other. This was one of the answer I heard, is that oh they will go through each other, but the issue is that the shield would fail at blocking everything. Like usually it's what would occur if an unblockable force would meet uh, unblockable force would meet an unmovable force would meet I don't remember. My memory is bad today. Unmovable object thing paradox, and the answer was like they would go through each other. Irreversible force. The immovable object paradox is also known as the irresistible force paradox, poses the question what happens when an unstoppable force meets an unmovable object. And so the answer I heard often was that they go through each other, but not in the case if it's if you take it as a sword a sword that cuts everything and a shield that blocks everything, because there, if they go through each other, the shield fail. So in this case, it's carefully picked, and the paradox is not complete, because unstoppable force would not stop, so it would go through the object. The immovable object wouldn't move, so when the unstoppable object would go through, the paradox would, like, it's the only solution. But if they are sword and shield, it does, the paradox cannot be con- uh, contoured, cannot be avoided, no matter what. So the thing is, we as I quoted Richard Feynman. Let's find the quote. Paradox. Fine and guard. The paradox is only a conflict between reality and your feeling of what reality ought to be. So this does, it did not work. Let's do it again. I think I will so we picked this one. I don't do any, not an issue that I do. I do exactly what it does. I will do it last time, and if it doesn't work, I will remodel it. So, Richard Feynman. So, with the sword and the shield, we comprehend that perfection does not exist. It's an illusion of word that we created between human. It's an illusion. So you you will know that when you do art, when you do a piece of art, that it's not like trying to be precise, like geometry art, right? Right? Like if you do a painting of a person, the more abstract you go, the less mathematical you go, the harder it is to make it perfect. But perfect does not exist anyway, so the harder it is to find when it's done. But anytime, there's no way to tell logically that your piece of art is done at some point. Because of course you have the sketch at the beginning, so it's not done. You paint the background, it's not done. You paint the big shapes, it's not done. And then you start to add details. Then now you start entering where a place where, okay, it might be done. Sometimes you could have a sketch till there. You could do a mix of sketch and shape, and it could be done. You don't know. It's subjective. Is you decide at some point when it's done, and you could paint on it endlessly. Where it's like the the same thing as reality. Reality does not end. Reality never ends. The paradox too, and the paradoxes of reality is that for something to not exist, there needs something to exist. So there cannot be an absence a void, complete void, cannot exist. Like there was not a beginning where there was nothing. It's impossible. Paradox. It's an incomprehension of what can exist. So it means that there was always something. There will always be something, even though science to us that the universe might uh, crumble in a cold universe expanding infinitely. The thing is that we think that this material evidence is what is real, but reality is not what is real as such. Because it's the paradox of we cannot prove if it was created on the spot at any time. Anything, any find we have of the world, anything we consider an evidence of something cannot prove because the proof itself could be created on the spot endlessly. So anytime you hear like I'm sure of that because in the sense that I'm sure of my uncertainty. It's the only thing you can be sure of. It's the uncertainty. And a part of that, anyone who is certain of something else than that, they either don't know the paradox, or they are, if they know the paradox, they are trying to sell you something. They are trying to manipulate you into something because it's like they embody the Dunning Kruger. They embody the Dunning Kruger, or they know when they have to sell you something. Because when you speak with confidence, it sounds more real. It's and a lot of people base their interaction with people by with confidence, with sounding real. But as you see someone with confidence, apart from what I said, I give it a name. It is I call it being agnostic, which means knowing that we cannot know. I know agnostic. And as a part of differently of being an agnostic would be someone who does not know. Agnostic is someone that knows that we cannot know. Ultimately, we cannot know ever. No one, no matter the power, no matter the old age, or the computing power, no matter the reality. So if you start with this assumption, and you go with other things like time travel, now you understand that it's more complicated than what people show. It's more subjective. Like if you time travel, It's more of your point of view rather than other thing. So it's the idea of, if you go back in time, are you in a different universe back in time, in this universe that is a copy of your, or are you in your own timeline back in your own time? And you cannot really know, because the evidence you will get, you cannot know if it's created on the spot. So now you enter a new dimension of thought process. And I've been in this thought process for 20 years. Like I've seen the world with this conceptualization for 20 years. And I hear people, and rarely do I find someone who resonate, who I see they understand, except like for that people maybe, or some people maybe, some comments. So it seems to not work. What I would do is try to see if the problem is really because I connected the the body with the head for doing that. Let's see. Let's do a real quick touch up. So the head. Let's close this. This guy has disconnected together. Okay, now the mouths. Let's see. Any export. Does does he? Yeah, he doesn't pick the eyes. He does not pick the eyes and the mouth. So keep it rated. So let's start with saving an iteration of that. Yeah, I don't need the iteration because it was not working. Let's go real fast. Uh, let's do the weird leg. The weird cat leg. Save. Let's export this. Of course, I just formulated this. You cannot prove sentence. I reformulated in a better way because every time in the story people said about this, but in a different way, in a way that it was comprehensible for the people at their time, and it was not as precise. It's as if we get with me with my short sentence of we cannot prove that an evidence was or wasn't for observation. It makes it way more precise. Like you don't need to explain a thought process. Like you don't need to have the jar in a vat, things like that. And the earliest one I heard was, I think it was a Chinese guy who said that he dreamt that he was a butterfly, and when he woke up, he didn't know if he was a human being or dreaming that he was a butterfly, or a butterfly dreaming that he was a human being. And it's some kind of entering this world, this same thought uh, world of idea philosophy. Also, there's in Hindu philosophy, there's Maya, which is the illusion, which can enter this thought well realm of idea. There's René Descartes also. I don't remember what he had a dream. He had three dreams, and one of them I don't remember what it was. Was similar, lead him to say something, because now he juggled after the stream. He juggled with the idea that nothing was real, and he was trying to find a way to find what was real, to keep him what make him know that he was real, and he came up with the sentence, "I know, therefore I am," because he was thinking, okay, what makes me show that I'm real? And then he reflect, and eventually came up with that. By reflecting, he thought, oh, but it's because I'm thinking. So now I know that's real because I actively do it. Well, so that I know, therefore I think, therefore I am comes from that realm of idea about things not being ultimately provable. Ultimately, body. I would need to take a little break. Output, body. Makes me think of uh, Bob SquarePants companion. Don't remember his name. Starfish. It, let's see if that's the problem. I will do their full process. I will pick their body and stuff instead of the one I'm using there. Though I will keep it for the base mesh at least, like the iris for baking later on. Body test. Re-import. Re-import. I wonder if I should do re-import with new file. Probably. If I open the head, yeah, the old dead import. No, with new file. It. Um, I will need to delete the wow. Need to delete. It don't work. Oh, it worked. Hmm. Hmm. Suspicious. Very suspicious. Hmm. What's wrong with importing? I might go on the break right now. So don't like to wait on this. Yeah, in Hinduism, there is a Maya de Brahma. Brahma. So Brahma reminds me of the thing that lived. Maya and Brahma is that I felt thinking about that. I felt like everyone was one conscious being talking to me, and Brahma is often described as that. He's everyone, and there's a movie like that too. Amo, yeah, movie. I think that's the name. No, um, stop motion movie. I don't remember. It's a guy, and everyone is the same. Is the same person except his wife. And when you encounter someone, they all have the same voice. Anomalisa. This one. They all have the same voice except his wife. And I lived the similar thing. Cool. Up there, it's a good movie. It does not look. I remember it was more. It was more. Seems emotional, but it was more scary. This movie was more scary than the trailer. Maybe there was like some comedy and romance too. Is it over? Yeah, the Is it over reminded me of existence at the end. So peop, a new game console where you dream with people together, and it's David Cronenberg, and David Cronenberg in this movie he did a couple of movies where you don't know what is reality, like you don't know, you get lost into sub realities, and you don't know is it the real one. you they get out and they get in dreams, and they don't know which one is the real reality. It's yeah, it's just in the same branch of process. Family of thoughts. Which one? There was a movie. It's a weird movie of Cronenberg with a typewriter. It's so disgusting. Usually, I won't suggest for anybody because it's not uh, full heavy with the drugs and like that. So this is the guy Carl Jung movie biography with Freud. Good one. Right. Their existence is the one with the dreams. Physiodrome is a weird one. Old, weird, really weird. It's kind of movie author that you watch all this movie one after the other. You feel the because there's something similar between all of them. There's a similar feeling sometimes. Oh, it's Naked Lunch, the typewriter, and this guy takes some kind of he's a exterminator for a cockroach, and he takes the powder and he inhaled the powder he gave the cockroach, and he's like in other reality. And at the end, he doesn't know what reality is the right one. Just like existence, a bit like this. There is a similar feeling in those two. The other one less. Maybe the Videodrome is. I don't remember because I watched them a long time ago, more than 10 years. Yeah, more than 10 years ago. I don't remember. Naked Lunch. This one is one of my favorite movies, so I watched it many times. His later movie were not super good. This one I wasn't able to finish it. It was not my cup of tea. Cosmopolis. This one is good. Dangerous Method. Ariam. I don't remember. I've seen this one, but it's not my cup of tea. It was violent. Yeah, I've seen it. It was a good, but like this one too violent. The Fly is a classic. That Zone, that was a series. They made a series out of this one. I watched the series a lot. Okay, let's see now. The moment of truth. Will I do pick their own the mesh they use? Comfort. Maybe I didn't pick the right one. Body. Yeah, I picked the right one. I picked body. Conform. Template. Body. Moment of truth. Cross your finger. Oh, it works. So it was really because I stitched the body together and unstitch. I should have I should have known because it rearranged the vertex order and the conform is based on the vertex order. I should have known. I don't have a left eye. What this guy does. Later. Yes, we got this. By default. What? What did he do? How did he do this? Okay, create doorway. No, I need to connect. I need to connect. Epic. Outlook. Outlook. Accept. Confirm. Okay, it takes some time. I think I might take a break now if it's too long. Okay, where is it? My name's Segment. Yes, it's happy face. Make give me an happy face. Are you happy? Let's see this or yeah, it looks like me. She imitate me just to get me angry. Okay, I will take a break now. Be back in something like 20 minutes. See you. Yeah, I think I will leave this on while I can so arriving on the stream. Find it weird to attract some people to the stream. Can I make it full screen? was longer, maybe. No one came because of the beautiful face. Oh, the cat came in, and now she's meowing to go back out. She was like, "Aren't you? You aren't going to close that door on me?" She looked at me like frustrated, and so I let her in. And just when I was about to sit down, she meowed, "Get out." That's a cat. Cat life. Okay, now let's get serious. We need to test a couple of other things like the eyes. We need to check the eyes. If I enlarge the eyes, what happens? Hmm. Why is my eyes as not as good as this? Now better. Okay, it's starting to heat up. Does not move anymore. Why is eyes are so beautiful in this video? My mini pick. Something missing. Something is missing in the eyes. It's because I didn't pick the character correctly. So, what else can I say? I would say I would talk about um, political parties, politics, the left and right. So it's based on a false dichotomy, of course. You don't have two choices in life. There are always more than two. It's a manipulation tactic. Everything that is separated in two, it's a manipulation. Every choice separated into, and I think in terms of politics, it's easier to make people fight each other when you separate the situation into, and it diverts. into useless argumentation. And there is no extreme. Like, yes, you can separate in two, but not in the way politics does. It's more like a pole. Everything is that you can separate in two is more like a pole, especially when it's abstract, when it's abstract like politics. And but it means that it's more like a pole, a north pole, south pole. Is that when you go to the extreme of an ideology and you want to go further, it will only go back to the other extreme. And you can see that some people have theorized that in politics. It's called the horseshoe theory. And uh, it's hard to prove, but you can see like the old China was more communist, and it started going to more less communist with time. Still is, but it one of their recent success is due to their leaving the extreme, the other. They reach an extreme and then they fall back to the other side. And it did the same thing with America, with the right. They reach some kind of extreme. With it can go even more. Like if you look at what people fear, because it's not separated into socially, what people fear from communism, like the Red Scare. It's that the loss of possession, or you lose you the fear of losing possession, so that your possession belongs to everyone. But it's as if that if you extrapolate the right, let's say we extrapolate the right with AI especially, and people start are able now to get paid with UBI because robot does the job. So there are so many jobs that robots can do that no one has to work, and so the robots can grow crop, feed people, give legislation, and give territory in the sense that when you are born, since you don't work, you're giving a room, and this would be like an extreme because it's the extreme of capitalism. Because capitalism gave birth to gave birth to science and technology and many things, and it's not just capitalism because it's a mix of we often think too much in labels. We all, we think too much in labels. It's a mix of both that gave rise to technology. But if we think in label, it's not. It's a false precept that like what I said, like capitalism gave birth to technology and science and AI and so on. It's a false narrative that I feel like it would be accepted as by some people, some extremist people. But if you extrapolate the current situation with UBI, with so it would be supreme capitalism, where robots are the result of capitalism and they provide everything for human beings. And who would? It's as if you would lose property, similar to the extreme left. You would lose property because UBI does remove the who possess the territory in UBI, who possess the so there would be like super rich people who possess other people. It could be, it could happen like that. It's a false situation. Good, but probably won't. But if we extrapolate what the right does, what capitalism does, it's false because it's a mix. We are always in a mix of right and left. We are not. It's a way to divide people and playing the false dichotomy. The false dichotomy. A sophist. Sophism. It's not a sophism, but it's born out of sophism. False dichotomy. I think we don't know who came up with this definition because it builded over time. I guess that some historian can find out who started the false dichotomy stuff. But I think I searched it one time and never find it. False dichotomy. It's a fallacy. Fallacy. So it's built on people arguing. Eventually, we end up listing fallacies, and we do this because we don't want to be manipulated. Since the sophists, since the ancient Greek, we started listing those fallacies and sophism. Because at first, sophists were people who were hired to convince other people. They were people outside who were hired to argument and convince other people, and the object of argumentation was not important to them, so they could lie. So the ancient Greek philosopher started to make a list of sophism to say, okay, when someone tell you this, it's false, and we all do this instinctively when we try to convince, like false dichotomy, false dilemma, fallacy. Anyone do it. I could do it. It's like a mechanism we have. We automatically do it, and it does not lead us to finding the truth ever. Tactic of manipulation, and that noble and merchant decided the structure of politics this way. Maybe it's because they were not considering false dichotomy, or maybe because they were considering false dichotomy. They were too much into it. Like it was a tool that they could not get rid of because it was useful. Because rich people knew about ancient Greek usually. They studied the ancient school where you had to learn, just like today when you go to college, you had to learn philosophy. I don't remember what is the method of teaching. Classical, I think. classical classical teaching, also known as classical education, is a pedagogical approach rooted in liberal art tradition of ancient Greek of so noble and merchant when French and American revolted, they started to decide the new regime that would replace the monarchy, especially in America and France. That's why we have a link with America and France. France gave the Statue of Liberty to New York. We revolted against the imperial, um, and then who was in power it was the merchant and the nobles who decided what was happening. And at that time, in that they, there was people who wanted democracy. They were like younger nobles, with passion, with for helping others and such, helping poor, and they didn't call themselves Democrats. The word Democrats was used as an insult by the people who were against it. And slowly it switched it, like not switched it, but they started to use the word Democrat for describing themselves too, because it became too popular. Everyone wanted democracy. So nobles and merchants started to so there was a I shown this guy a couple stream ago. He did a research on that, Francis Dupuy, and he wrote a book, Democracy. I don't know if he has an English version. It's malentendu. Democracy in French. I don't know if he saw. Yeah, he wrote this book, and in this book he made a study looking at the old text in the court, the court, but in the political realm of that time, and he saw that the word democracy switched from being pejorative, uh, similar to the word utopist, how we use utopist today. So they were insulting people by saying they were Democrat, saying wanting to mean that they dream of something that's not possible. And slowly they started to use this word to describe themselves because it became too popular. So slowly and slowly. And I think that this in this time they knew they had the classical education, which means they learn about the Greek philosophy, about the false dichotomy, all the sophists, and they knew that the poor didn't knew about those. So I'm pretty sure this constructed politics in a way that there was two sides, and poor population had to fight between those two sides. That way, it was easier for making population fight each other. It was easier because everyone does the false dichotomy. It's a mechanism we have. We all do false dichotomy. So ideally, what system would be best? It would be you would need to remove the political parties, and people would vote only for the as if they were in the parliament, and it would be, of course, everyone like an app and in person, because the way they did is they separated four people for voting by making a 4-year mandate. That way, it it keeps the power from people as much as possible. It gives them the impression of power, because your real power is not to vote; it's to do politics. And by doing a 4-year mandate, it makes you do politics once every 4 years, so you don't have power. Very, very low power, very low political power. So ideally, you will need to not delegate politics to someone, to a politician. There won't be, ideally there shouldn't be a politician. It should be only commissioner that would be voted. And commissioner wouldn't have political power. They wouldn't have a microphone. Like they would be observed more than anything else. Like the result, the transaction, um, things like that. In ancient Greece, they had a system that might be wrong. Uh, they made people voted were voted randomly, like they picked someone randomly in population to accomplish something instead of someone work, a bit like we do in court when they need the jury. They pick some randomly people in the population. They did this in ancient Greek, but it could be not that good. I think the person doing a job needs some kind of expertise. Maybe not the best expertise, but at least like a training or something. Like an availability to be trained. Like, because you want to you might want their surface the diversification. Like you don't want to end up with a specific group of people who have power. That's what why, because they can override power. In group, you can manage to override power subtly, like without anyone noticing, just by group thinking, by organization. I want to bring back the cursor in the center. I think to do that, need to. Need to so what I said was, I was saying earlier is yeah, in extreme you end up in extreme right, you would end up losing possession, just like extreme left. Just the fear that extreme right has end up being what they want, and the other way around too. Like the fear of extreme left is what they want that the extreme right has, and vice versa. It's in psychology. It's also a psychological aspect, which is how do we call this? Projection, I think. People want to keep other people from having things that they keep from themselves. Projection. Yes, I think that's one. Don't hear it. My Bluetooth, I need to restart it every time I connect it. What was that since in the video? So it appears in many aspects of life, of course, but I see it sometime in politics with people people associating with the left or right labels. They project on the other side the things that they reject from themselves, and vice versa. The other does the same. And we see this also in comments on Facebook on any subject. Like anyone you see enraged about something, it's because they usually are they're guilty of this thing, like pedophilia, uh, rage, road rage, animal cruelty, children cruelty. Everyone will be enraged and comment like very heavily on something. They repress this from themselves. They feel guilty for being that way. And yeah, when you see that, you stop commenting. When you see that, you understand that you understand yourself better. You stop arguing on the internet. It's the beginning of a new phase in your life. Okay, so I will restart her. Can I control Z? I should have saved. I'm a stupid. Yes. Now I will say. Oh yeah, I needed to test the eyes also. So No, not again. Little 3D cursor. And also Carl Jung, if you read Carl Jung, he talks a lot about projection, but he doesn't use this word. Yeah, he uses on. He's not always like well received in science, the scientific community, because he wrote weird stuff sometimes. Um, he did induce himself in a psychosis and wrote the Red Book. And some people say, himself included, that he predicted the World War One, and yeah, World War One in this book. But I read it and it was like gibberish, a bit like uh, Nostradamus. You could assign anything, but it could fit. And so he calls this often like the shadow. Your shadow, you keep things in your shadow, you put things, you hide things in your shadow, things that you reject from yourself and others. So it's the same thing as projection in modern psychology. Let's save an iteration this time. So I have a clean one. Rename it clean. Oh no, not again. This is one of the thing that I always hated from them. The 3D cursor, they should be. They should check the other software and keep what is good and remove what is. This is only in Blender 3D cursor. They should simplify this. Like many of them could be in one. Like modeling and layout should be in one. Even sculpting, it could be in one. But at least layout and modeling, it should be as simple and less keyboard as possible. In the sense of shortcut like this to make to go in modifying. I think the best one is 3ds Max 4. Going in modeling, it's better than Maya and better than Blender to go in modeling mode. If I remember, it's been a long time, but I remember switching from 3ds Max to Blender, and it was one of the things that I miss from 3ds Max. Oh, not again! Will it ever stop? Will it? Now to stop this, I need to go out like this. Okay. What is this one? Button. Okay. Now, can I sculpt all of them at once? Hmm. When you like what you see. Hmm. Blobs? I think we cannot. Can I join them together and separate them? Will it break the vertex order? The only way to know is to. What happened there? It wasn't in the right place. Join. Okay. Yes. Now it. Wow. Let's give her large cat eye. I want also. I want maybe to do a vertical eyelid. Cats have vertical eyelids, like reptiles. Cats have eyes like reptiles, and, which is weird compared to other animals. Yeah, that's my litter. I have this one and the older, the best litters. We have my brother bought. We bought together the big one, remember well, and the older one. I think my brother. Who I bought it with him? I don't. So they have another eyelid, right? Like reptiles, like crocodiles. Sometimes sometime. One time I scratched my eye so much that it almost looked like this. The the little red thing inside was halfway through my eyes. I scratched my eyes too much. I think I fell. And when I saw myself in the mirror, I sat down in the kitchen and I how do we see? I, uh, I fell unconscious on the floor. I was too stressed. I was too scared. I never experienced that before. I was young. So I might do this. Our little elves. and they closed it like crocodiles. Okay. How big can we go? Look into the deepness of the look into the eye and see. I'm just a fool boy. Yes, that's the way. This is the way. Take this modeling. Yes, this is the way. I think it's wrong. Let's go back. I should have put the color to the iris. I hope it, I hope it will work. That would be crazy. 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 Let's pop it out. Yes, I see you. Better not. No, better not try. I don't know the lyrics of that music. That Christmas music. Santa Claus has big eyes like this. I might create a Santa Claus character in the game with the many elves living in the North Pole, and it will be like the creepy Santa Claus, like this. I'm stupid. Yes, I'm stupid. Start on the keyboard. Now let's select them. Teeth. Hobbit, this is teeth. First, select when you need it. I need to go in modeling. Hobbit, this is select. Separate selection. I want to invert section. Oh, pause. I think there is a shortcut for that. Ender. Select invert. Control I. Yes. Yes, or Miller. Yes, or Miller is a meme, a Quebecer meme. Yes, or Miller. It's a guy in a drunk party singing that, and it's a whole old meme like in the 2000s. And there was a guy at in my programming school who always said that, so it's sticked with me because he was always. And when a teacher said step by step, you do this step by step. He always said step by step. Ooh, ooh, baby, it's the music. Backstreet Boy. No, not Backstreet. Is it? Is it Backstreet Boy or the other New Kids on the Block? I don't remember. It's the same. They are the same to me. When you knew New Kid on the Block and you saw Backstreet Boy a couple years later, everyone was like they copy the New Kid on the Block. They copy the New Kid on the Block. I hope it will. I feel like it won't work, but hope is bigger than me. We need the ice because it won't reinforce. We'll play Star Trek while it's reinforcing. What else can I say? What do you want to hear? It's a bit lonely for another day. That's weird. Am I streaming? It's almost like I'm not streaming. Where is my Explorer? I put my streaming stuff in Edge so I don't mess with it when I'm not streaming. So I can have all the windows open already. What's that noise? My cat is scratching the door. Am I streaming? It seems to. Hello there. Oh, little anger cat. Is that? Oh, the screen overlay works. Let's see. It's inside the chat. Oh yeah. Disgusted. We we are missing Mr. Sammy Blady. Sam Blader. Alligator. Sammy Blady. I said cat work. Oh, I'm not uh, all there. I'm not. Oh, it's Sammy Blady. Oh, he's playing. Oh, he's streaming. Is playing Warframe. 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 We lost Sammy Blady. I never heard his voice. It's not his voice. This is the game voice. He's been playing so much lately. He's not doing anything but playing. Sammy. Sammy Blady. Sometimes you need a break like that. Okay, the head is back. Beautiful. come on. What else can I talk about? What do you want to hear about? Remove rig a thick leg. Um, I want some material. Yes, the eyes. But that was missing. Let's put some freckle. Frick. I pressed something in the video with the UV. I don't remember what it was. I remember hearing him saying UV something. Let's watch back. Oh, it fit the eyes. Not completely. So it breaks the. So I shouldn't. I when they didn't do. So one thing they didn't do well with the eyes is this. I shown you in early stream. You shouldn't do it. It should be FET. Can I import? So now we see that there's something wrong. It goes through the protective thing. This thing. Can we? Should we? Damn it! Oh, there's. Um, can we? They never ask themselves if they should, but should we? The eyes is a bit weird, like the back of the eye is touched. I don't want to judge. That's too late now. Let's try. Sounds like every time I say that, I need to stop repeating. Can I use this? Scalable. I wonder, can I everything that is not in the list there? Those three separated and the rest would be at. Doesn't have eyelashes. Maybe I need to add the eyelashes there, but I think I should add away. The best way is to add back the eyelashes there. But let's try on this. Okay, all of them. All of them together. When your eyes look like mouth. Can I join them? Are you kidding? Now I can. The power of suggestion. This is what I want. With it, a conform. If I do just to confirm the pipeline before going deeper in the dream. Tell me when it's over. Tell me when September. So what is projection, psychological projection like? What the people are associating themselves or with the left are projecting on people from the right. It would be something like private property, loving money. They inside of them, they love money. They like to spend a lot of money. They they think of rich people as people spending, but it's not that way. They spend. It's true that they spend more money, but they spend less or more thoughtfully. Uh, they might hate capitalism for some kind of violence that it has, but they have express this violence themselves too. Like there's things they are some anarchist sometimes likes to uh, to tell something like throwing brick on the head of anyone they disagree on, or yeah, they we always reject things from other that we feel guilty of, and from the right, people who identify as right, what they project on the people identifying as left wing. Um, I first thought about this. Now I forgot. This was the first example I had. They they don't like that the left complains, but they have no choice to complain to express that. And sometimes they will complain just like the left complains. People identifying with the left, they will shout, they will do similar things, not the same way exactly, but the things they reject in the people identifying with the left, they are guilt, they feel guilty of themselves of being that way. and they, if you would say that to them, they would like negate totally. They would negate totally. The thing is also with the right and left, it's uh, a bit of a paradox, politics seeing it as this way, because the process of civilization is to get away from uh, animalistic behavior uh, by cooperating, and it's as if people like to think that it's not it does not go with left and right, and it only goes with one or the other. Like people from identifying with the left would say it's the left that progress, and people identifying with right would be it's right, but it's a it's a common effort in which that sometimes we need to try to progress, and with the left and right, sometimes the progress would be said to be left, and then we need to regress and progress and regress. And of course, when you progress, you have to make mistake. Like you have no choice to that when you do something new that you never did before, you have to progress and make mistake. Either it can be either from the left doing progress or the right doing progress. Like it's not the either or. Both of them have progressive ideas that they want to try. They want to, and sometimes both sides will say you did your idea, it was wrong, and so therefore all the idea that are in this label is wrong. But in reality, it was a back and forth between the two all along. It was never one thing. So you could think of, well, there was the communist movement, but it was a mix. If you look at it more precisely, there was a movement, but there was a mix of both. Even though some big name came with big idea books, in reality it was a mix. It became popular. Sometimes one side is more popular than the other. Both sides do terrible stuff uh, that we can only see later on. And it's not a side thing. It's a common thing. Both of them do similar things. So it's a bit when, as I said, civilization, we get apart from the animal world by cooperating, by sharing. But at some point, sharing becomes too much for some people because they still want the private properties and so on. And usually, sometimes when you see the people identifying with the left, they think that possession should be redistributed, and often they would be the worst, like to in that society. Um, they would be the worst, and I think that maybe the people identifying with the right, with the society that is completely right, the right, those people would be the worst also in those their own ideology, in the sense that if often people identifying with the left will want redistribution of wealth, but they don't want redistribution of the work, and that's one of the main issue in that occurred in communism. Is that so? Since everyone has had the same wealth, some people work less, so they created people to overseas, and then in the people who overseas people, there was some other slacking, so they hired overseas that overseas people, and everyone was like, um, how do we say that? They were accusing each other. That's what occurred in those society, and you so it often in communism it ended with the society, people in society accusing everyone, every neighbor, and then there was like, especially like with in Russia with the SS, not SS, SS is the German. In Russia with the in Russia and other similar country who had communism. There was a guy I worked with, a janitor who was from Romania, and he went away from Romania because someone told him, someone accused him from to the government. So there was a lot of that in communist country where you get accused and then you have to flee from the country because they are overseer who oversees overseer. So and then it's a nightmare. And people who want left this idea, sometimes they won't live well in those society because they are not overperforming. Like people from the right would live well in leftist society, and it's the opposite with the leftists. They would live better in right society. And the way the right is that often capitalism encourages randomness. So wealthy people are often wealthy out of randomness. Not always. There is some kind of effort, but often there is some kind of lottery going on. And a lot of people from that are right and encourage capitalism, they are not always as rich as the mean of rich people. They don't reach it, and just like leftists, uh, and they don't strive in the right and capitalist world. They would strive way more in the leftist world, more than leftists. So let's come from this. Of course, I'm deliberately rating it could be all bullshit, all BS. But I feel like it's, from my experience, I feel like I'm hitting some spot there. I'm hitting something, some something right and left. The thing with, it's not that I'm eccentric. I'm more like a versatile. I don't believe in false dichotomy. So I pick and choose each thing I like. And if I fall more into the left, it might be day like that. I fall more into the left, and someday I have some new information, and then I fall more into the right. And it's not life. Life is not black and white. It's just someday we gather information, and eventually it's another thing. a better choice to make because we have new information. It's not a matter of in what quadrant you find yourself in. And anytime you think that's the case, you are in a false dichotomy fallacy. And it's not centrism. Centrism is another thing. Centrism is when you are there to specifically things that are in the center spectrum, in the center of the spectrum, and you don't bulge from that. It's similar, like it's not that different. False dichotomy is said the etymology is cutting in two, but it can be cut in three. So, so like the best way to see it is that in life you never have a few choices. You always have more than, and yeah, if you think not, you are in a fallacy. You are thinking fallaciously. And why I'm sure of that, it's because we've been doing debates for so long and listing everything that's wrong in debate, and those false dichotomy are there always. Always. It means that we saw people debating using every tools in the bag, and we analyzed the debates. There was like people doing that for their lifetime, thinking about that and trying to find out, okay, this is not a good argument because it always lead at the wrong conclusion. That is a conclusion that is not true, and that's why it's mostly false. But also, there is an extreme to pointing out sophism, and because at the end, if you point out everything, you cannot have a good, real discussion because at least the discussion will look like a sharing of data more than a discussion. And data sometimes can be interpreted as we want to, especially statistic. We can people can reinterpret statistic very very easily to fit their needs. Conform. Yeah, I think it didn't like the because there is no eyelashes. Maybe. So as we can see with the eyelashes and the eye does not seem to work. Maybe if I remove the eyelashes. Is it giving an error? Yes. Okay, not consistent. That means that it was really. I cannot add this. Can I? If I remove at least the eyelashes. There was a guy who planted a bomb during the COVID, I think, in some place, and it cut the internet, and a lot of people died. And it was during the COVID. I don't remember, but there was an author talking about this on YouTube, Jason something, and because the guy was the reason the guy planted the bomb was not political. It didn't make no one talked about it, and that's the that shows how and why politicians choose to structure politics with left and right, because it grabs our it grabs our mind like a bait. It's really a rage bait. It really is. If you don't express yourself in false dichotomy, you don't get views. And I might not get views, or I might, because it needs to be distractive. And if I tell things like, if I put some if I uh, make it distractive, like grab the attention, maybe I might get more interaction and more view. But false dichotomy is attention grabber. Jason Kotor. Jason K. Pargin. So since the guy didn't, the guy who planted the bomb made a statement. He died. Also made a statement, and it was not political, so no one talked about. Even though there was people, that it affected many people. It went under. It went under the radar. So I cannot find it on author Jason K. Pargin page, but it's there somewhere in one of his videos. Okay, let's detach this one. Let's see if it works with the eyes cap. The eye caps and the liquid, the eyes. I might not need the liquids. Next, it will be the next to remove. What else can I see? What else do you want to hear? Here, here, here are the here are the here, here is here. Okay, done. Okay, so I think I'm pretty sure it's only the edge, but the liquid we already have it. I guess that's on the there. It's already there. So they should have let us re-import the I club. I want to modify this blob, but that's not so bad. It's more a shadow thing because it seems to be darker. It just makes the eyes darker. And yeah, I remember my character teacher said something about this. Uh, there to make it more realistic, you need to add the shadow in the eyes. Let's import the eye club, guys. Eye here, not so much fierce. Let's see what it does if I. What's going on? I need to get layout. My nose is so dry because of the fan. My fan blowing on me. So this is the right eye. I'm sorry for that. Talking about left and right. This is not a false dichotomy. It's an illusion of symmetry. Our body is not symmetric. There's a slight asymmetry. And it's not a choice, it's a combination of both of them. Makes me think of the yin and yang symbol that is heavily misunderstood. It even gives the opposite signification. It gives the opposite signification that it's separated into. By trying to show that it's not separated into, it gives the thought process that everything is separated into, but that's the opposite of what the yin and yang show. Tries to show that they are both one, only one. They are they give each other birth. They are each other. There is no separation. Important. Hey, it's not the right thing. No, you want to. when you do this, the guy misses something. I don't want LOD. I don't have LOD. Yeah, I don't want the materials. So there's a thing there in there that creates the material, that imports the material. I don't want the animation. There. There you go. Oh no, it imports the texture. Damn it. Got me. Where's the texture? There. There you go. Thank you. I will go after that. I'm tired. Oh yeah, I need the head to repair the head. So my guess is that it won't work if I remove also the. But we can try just to be sure. But my initial guess is okay. If I only remove the juicy juice, I need to be in selected. Not this one. This one. How is it made? It's like some juicy juice. My guess is it won't. It won't still work because it's only the head, and it's a bad move because I want to modify the other one. This no, this one. I want to import this one. It's a bad move for on there or on Epic part. Do not have made a slot here. I could go in the source code, try to find this and add it, but let's try it before getting to conclusion too fast. Let's try it. Maybe, maybe, whip, 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 whip. Okay. Import. Oh, you won't see it, but what else can I say? What else can I talk about? What do you want to hear? It's over. The time of truth. Let's cross a finger. Cross your finger for me, please. Argentina seems to have not worked, and no, really, it's only the end. If I want to modify this, I would need the eyes to modify the eyes and maybe there's a way, but like I think that it follows the curvature of the eyelid. So if I would want to make it more like this, I would need to. What is that? I lost something there. Are you kidding me? Are you kidding me? Control C. What is that? Are you kidding me? Okay. Um, let's start with exporting this. Yes, but now completely covers the dark stuff. So that's the thing to think about. Is it possible to copy it out? Maybe. Do we try this now? Maybe. That's right. But that would be ridiculous. So my guess is that it follows the curvature of this and this. If you want to pop the thing out, you will need to play with it too much. I think I will leave it there tonight. Thank you for watching and see. Highly provide. Thank you. Bye. Roll the outro.